A couple of years ago, I reviewed the cult classic family film known as Three Ninjas. Now, let's talk about its sequel, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary today. But I feel like those sequels got more hate than its predecessor got. But I might be able to defend this one, though, since it had some fun moments. Here's my review of Three Ninjas Kick Back. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1994 martial arts comedy adventure flick Three Ninjas Kick Back, released by TriStar and directed by Charles T. Kanganas, a sequel to Three Ninjas, or sort of a semi-sequel. Despite being released as the second installment of the franchise, this was chronologically the third installment of the franchise. Originally, the other sequel, Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, was shot back to back with the first film and with the original cast, but due to distribution issues with Touchstone under license at Disney in Buena Vista, it was released in 1995, also from TriStar. Max Elliott Slade is the only actor to reprise his role from the previous films as Jeffrey Douglas, aka Colt, one of the three main characters. Victor Wong also returns in this, as it has a continuity error in which his character Mori's last name changes from Tanaka to Shintaro for no apparent reason. The film was released on May 6, 1994, hence today is the 30th anniversary of the film. Now, it really got dissed more than its predecessor and what have you, and is the only film in the series to get a video game adaptation. Now, if you have not seen my review of the first film of Three Ninjas, I advise you to click on that card and you can check it out in case you might have missed it or if you would like to see it again. Alright, let's get into the story. Well, this film didn't quite do so well. I'll give you probably, hmm, well, I guess it won't bother you because usually, rarely, I don't really spoil movies like this in my review, but just this once I will, since this was pre-fine why. The three titular ninjas of the story, 13-year-old Rocky, 12-year-old Colt, and 7-year-old Tum Tum, are brothers experiencing the pressures of growing up. They frequently spend time training in the ninja arts with their grandfather, Mori. He plans a trip for the four of them to Japan to take them to a martial arts tournament of which he was the champion 50 years ago. Only Tum Tum seems interested in going, and even then, only out of interest in seeing sumo wrestlers due to how much food they get to eat. Mori tells the boys he hopes to return a dagger awarded to him at the tournament when he defeats a boy named Koga, so that it may be presented to the new winner. In Japan, a man later revealed to be Koga breaks into a museum and steals a sword before escaping via hang glider. At a baseball game, Rocky seems too focused on a cute girl to pitch properly. Tum Tum causes constant breaks due to getting snacks, and Colt's temper causes a fight with the opposing team that causes the Empire to call the game until next week, driving a nail into the boys' plans to travel. Meanwhile, back at Maury's cabin, a trio of thugs led by Koga's nephew Glam try to break into the house to steal the dagger. And of course, this was before the big game occurs. The boys manage to drive them off and dismiss it as an ordinary robbery attempt. Well, after all that, later on, Maury leaves for Japan alone, but the boy's father, Sam, accidentally gives him Tum Tum's bag. Once he arrives in Japan, Mori's taxi is rear-ended by Glam and his friends who steal his bag. After hearing from Mori at the hospital, the boys discover the bag mix-up and realize that they have the dagger. They arrange a trip with Mori's credit card and meet him in Japan. He instructs the boys to give the dagger to the Grand Master of the tournament. Glam and his friends record the conversation and deliver it to Koga, who punishes them for not retrieving it. At the tournament, Colt takes the place of a fallen competitor where he loses to a female opponent, a girl named Mio Shikigawa. She helps them deliver the dagger to the Grand Master and allows the boys to stay with her and her mother. She has a love of baseball where she is a good power hitter, but is not very good at catching. The boys offer to train her in baseball if she trains them in martial arts. Rocky becomes fond of Mio, and the two almost kiss, but they are distracted by Colt and Tum Tum. Koga attempts to trap the boys and retrieve the dagger himself by pretending to be the Grand Master, but the boys and Mio catch onto his scheme and flee. They face several adversaries before they are finally captured. Meanwhile, Mori is kidnapped from the hospital by Ishikawa after fleeing Glam and the others. Koga forces Mori to tell him the location of the Cave of Gold, an urban legend which the sword and dagger are the keys to opening. Fearing the safety for his grandsons, Mori agrees to aid Koga. All right, now I'm going to the ending of this. So if you have not seen this movie, I advise you to stop this video immediately and check out if you've seen Three Ninjas. But I'm going to go ahead and give you my 5 seconds. So if you've seen the movie already, please continue once the 5 seconds are up. Okay? Okay, you've been warned. Soon after, the children come up with a plan and escape Koga's fortress on hang gliders, arriving at the cave shortly after the adults. Inside, Koga and Mori realize the legend is true after they encounter walls and monuments of gold within. While the two battle each other, the boys and Mio drop in on them, and Koga pulls a gun. Using Mori's lesson on focus, Colt throws a ball bearing into the muzzle of the gun, causes it to backfire and start a cave in. The group flees the cave, and Koga, now realizing the price of his greed, apologizes and leaves the group unharmed. Rocky realizes that they are a day ahead of America and that they can still make it home by the championship game. At the game, the boys overcome their flaws. Down by two in the ninth inning, an opposing batter gets a hit off Rocky's pitch until a new player, which happens to be Mio, catches the ball in the bottom of the inning. Colt focuses and hits a home run, allowing all three boys to score and win the game. Members of the opposing team confront them after the game, and Darren, their leader, picks Mio to fight for ruining his home run, which she politely agrees. Darren screams as the boys ready to attack him, and the screen cuts to black as the fight begins. End of story. So, what did I think of Three Ninjas Kickback? Well, I am going to say, though I've only seen it twice, I am going to say this film's even more underrated than its predecessor. Sure, it does have a few issues, though, but it has the hysterical craziness its predecessor had to offer. Kind of feels like you're seeing Home Alone in a way in some parts, but with a little more ninja fun, though. I especially like it when the kids encounter Glenn and his goons there for the first time. And one is like, what are you supposed to be? Teenage Mutant Ninja wannabes? Oh, bro. I mean, those guys are nutsoid or something like that. I mean, they can be a little, I don't know. But I found it to be fun, though. The musical score from Richard Marvin wasn't too bad. For our cast, Victor Wong returned as Mori. I will say he's still good. I really liked his performance. Max Elliott Slade is the only one from the other films to return as Jeffrey Cole Douglas, who is the middle child of the brothers. Sean Fox now plays Rocky, real name Samuel Douglas Jr., the eldest of the brothers. And J. Evan Bonifant played Michael Douglas, aka Tum Tum, the youngest of the group. For the rest of the cast, we have Caroline Jungle King as Mio. She was very good. Alan McRae as Sam Douglas Sr., the boy's father, who is also an FBI agent. Margarita Franco as, let's see, Jessica, Sam's wife and Maury's daughter. And Koga is played by Shimono. Glam is played by Dustin Nguyen. I thought that name sounded familiar. This is, um, of course, he was well known for playing Harry Truman Yoki on 21 Jump Street, but I knew him later. But I knew him best for playing Johnny Lowe in the last couple seasons of VIP. Now, his colleagues Slam played by Angela Tiffey, and Vinny is played by Jason Shumbing. Those are his bandmates because they're a band. Boy, oh boy. I am gonna say some of the other characters you see are kind of funny, and some are I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag though, but I feel like much more than the first Three Ninjas, this film is kind of a so bad it's good film in my opinion. But I don't consider it to be bad, but still it has fun moments in my view. Now, even though rarely I would give the whole film away for a film that bombed, but this isn't the first time. This film, factually did bomb at the box office, making only 11 million domestically against its $20 million budget. The film sits at a mere 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, and well, as of reviews and what have you, Metacritic has a 39 out of 100 score, and Scott Weinberg of eFilmCritic.com was not impressed, saying it's even worse than the original, which was pretty dire to begin with. Well, well, that may be, but well, I still had a little fun with it. It had some fun moments. After its released, Now Comics published a three-part comic book adaptation of the movie written by Clint McElroy. And also, Sony ImageSoft published a video game adaptation released on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and by Psygnosis for Sega Genesis. Now, although the Sega CD version was in a bundle pack with with a Sega CD port of another game Sony ImageSoft made for another film that was really recently released by TriStar, and that was Hook. But anyway, Three Ninjas Kickback can be a hit or miss and what have you. I'm sure probably a lot of people don't care much for these films now, or they may not know they even exist. I never knew there were more Three Ninja films, Three Ninjas and what have you, but well, just didn't get to see much ads and what have you and what have you. The first one was the only one I was familiar with until I soon learned that there were three sequels. But anyway, Three Ninjas Kickback, I thought it was a fun film and what have you. It has its crazy moments and what have you, but still, it's fun though. I mean, if you like the first film, you may like this one. You be the judge. I know it has a couple changes with the main cast of kids and what have you, except for one. And Victor Wong's back, which that's a good thing. So anyway, would I recommend Three Ninjas Kickback? Well, I'd say I'm gonna give it a draw. I'd say give it a one-time watch if you're a hardcore completionist of the Three Ninjas franchise, or else avoid it. So that's what I'm saying. So you be the judge. So, what did you think of Three Ninjas Kickback? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, make the videos views grow, and all that jazz. And I will be reviewing the next two Three Ninjas films next week. So join me later on tonight when I give you a review of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for these other films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of D2, The Mighty Ducks, which was actually released the same year this was. The upper right-hand corner is my review of The Karate Kid Part 2 from 1986. Or if you would like maybe, I don't know, something else that's kind of like it, but it falls in the same vein as the latter I just mentioned. Check out my review of the underrated next Karate Kid from that was also released the same year, which actually is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. Yeah. And the bottom right hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.